Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm here with the introduction for my 2023 project Level Up. This is a project that I created last year. I've been doing it for 1 full year and I have my playlist linked down below. I also created a community playlist with everyone else who has joined in, because there's been quite a few who joined in this project both last year, and I've seen quite a few intros pop up this year as well to join in, and I'm very excited because I love this project and I'm happy that you guys are enjoying it too. I will go through all the rules and everything for this project, as well as pick my level 1 palette for 2023. But before I do so, if you're new here, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you in the family. Let's jump into the video. So like I said, I have done this project for 1 year already, so I already have an introduction for 2022 up where I discuss all of the rules and everything, but I'm going to go through them again this year in case you're new to this project. So I created this project to be a kind of a combination between Pan Those Eyeshadows, No Pan Left Behind, Pan in Every Palette, even Pan Lab Palette a little bit. Although for me Pan Lab Palette is more finishing shades rather than hitting pan. But it's a big mashup of projects, and I created this project because I have loved doing Pan Those Eyeshadows for 5 years now. No, has it been 5 years? 4 years? 4 years I think. For a long time anyway. I've been doing Pan Those Eyeshadows. I really enjoyed it, and I am still doing Pan Those Eyeshadows. Don't worry, I'm going to start another introduction soon. It's going to be up again in the next couple of days. But I love doing that project. However, I wanted a different project that I could still hit pan eyeshadows, but I wanted to show some more love to my whole palette, create a few more dips in my palettes, just give the palettes more love in general rather than hyper focusing in on 1 or 2 shades. So that's kind of how I started brainstorming this idea, and what I came up with was Project Level Up, where you have different levels. So you start with level 1, where you have a goal of hitting 1 pan, so again that brings in Pan Those Eyeshadows, and then use every single shade once. So for example, No Pan Left Behind, and also again to get more use out of the whole palette. So that is the goal for level 1, and once you complete level 1 you go up to level 2, where you have a similar goal, but instead of 1 you have 2. So you hit 2 pans and use every single shade twice, and then so it goes on. So level 3 is use every single shade 3 times and hit 3 pans, and you go up like that to level 5. And once you have completed level 5, so you have completed level 5 still, but once you have hit 5 pans and use every single shade 5 times, you have an option to reset the project. And I think everyone who has done this project, myself included, have decided to do just that, to reset the project, because it is hard to keep going, because level 6, 7, 8 and so on would be very difficult. You know, in the end you would have to hit pan on every single shadow in the palette, which, you know, would kind of in a sense defeat the project, but you have the option to continue if you want to. So that is basically the main gist of the project. Additionally, I know some people have joined in and they've asked me if they can do the project a bit differently. So instead, for example, to hit pan, they can put a usage goal, and that is completely fine. You can alter this project to have it fit your panning style. I mean, if you keep the main idea of the project going, that would be amazing to me. But again, don't feel pressure to use, you know, shades in order to hit pan, because I know some people take 30, 40 plus times to hit pan on 1 eyeshadow, and I don't want the project to be deflating to you and overwhelming. So if you feel like that is, you know, too difficult for you, or something that sounds overwhelming to you, feel free to change it. I know Ruth, for example, she asked me most recently if she could do like a Project Level Up light, and that is completely fine. So she's gonna do, I haven't seen her intro go up yet, but I know she's gonna do it this year. And I know some other people are joining in as well on a similar kind of project, and she's gonna do a certain amount of uses. I can't remember what she said, but for example, like level 1, she might use every single shade once, and then use 1 eyeshadow 10 times. So, you know, that's kind of how you can set it up. If you want to then go on and say use every shade twice and use 2 eyeshadows 10 times, or even if you want to do it slightly more complicated, you could do use every single shade twice and use 2 eyeshadows 20 times. Completely up to you, but again, feel free to change the product to however it fits you. So those are kind of the main overall rules. Additionally, I have a specific rule for myself, and that is that I'm allowing myself 5 rerolls or vetoes per year. Last year I did only use, I think, 2 vetoes, but you know, I can reroll a palette if I want to, and that can be, for example, if there's a palette that I might not be able to, or like I might not be ready to hit pan on, or something that seems way too hard for example level 5, or something that I don't feel like for the season. Whatever the reason is, I can re-roll 5 times. Obviously as well, I don't want my Pan palette to be rolled into this project, so you know, if that happens, I'm gonna re-roll by itself because I'm panning that palette already. Also additionally, if I would get a palette where I don't have, for example level 5, I don't have 5 eyeshadows without pan, in that case I would have to re-roll as well, because I do want to hit those 5 pans before leveling up. So those are just like some general rules as well, and I think that is basically it. So you know, it might sound complicated to start, but it's really not that hard to follow. Once you get into it, it's really easy, and I have been loving this project this year. I got 19 pans in this project last year, and I'm gonna try to beat that this year. Last year I completed level 1 to 5, and then I reset the project and did 1, 2, and then level 3 I did not finish, but that is kind of where I wrapped up the project. So I'm gonna hopefully try to get past that this year. If I could complete level 5 twice, that would be my ultimate goal, but that might be a bit too difficult. So anyway, with enough rambling, we're gonna get into the exciting part, which is gonna be to pick my new palette. So I'm gonna pull up my Tiny Decisions app. Also, I have not quite updated this one. I'm missing my newest 2 palettes in here, I think. Just the ones that I got in like in the last, like November and December basically, so not many. I mainly picked up singles in the last 2 months of Black Friday and stuff, so I don't have too many palettes to add. I think it's 2, so I'm gonna add that after this video, and then I'm gonna also take away the palettes that I have decluttered. I decluttered, was this 5 or 6 palettes recently, so I will remove those at the same time. But if I do pick something that I have decluttered, I will just pick again because they're no longer in my collection. So let's pull up the wheel and let's go ahead and pick a palette for level 1. Club Nebula, okay, that's fine. I'm happy with that. What happened with the light? I'm very yellow all of a sudden. Let me try to fix that. I'm gonna go pick the palette up. Hopefully my settings will be okay. It's good, back to normal now. But I'm gonna go ahead and get my palette, swatch it out for you guys, and then I'm gonna let you know which eyeshadow I'm gonna try to focus on. So I'm back and I have my palette right here. This, like I said, is the Club Nebula palette. I already have a few pans in here, but this is what my palette looks like, and these are the swatches right here. So first top row here, middle row, and bottom row. So with this palette, since I already have pan on quite a few shades, I still have quite a few options to pan on, and honestly I think it's going to be one of the shimmers because they are so easy to pan on. I'm going to play around with the palette though. If I fall in love with something else, I might try to pan on that instead. I know I love the shade Gravity, which is that bright green swatch out right there. I love that shade. I also surprisingly not surprisingly, but I really like the shade Naru, which is the kind of taupey matte shade, because it's just such a beautiful tone, quite a unique tone as well. Really love that one. But again, I think it's going to be quite hard to pan on that one, but we'll see. Maybe I want to focus on that one just to try something different. It is still level 1, so I could do that. But my favorite shade that I have not yet hit pan on is definitely 100% Celestial down here. This is a beautiful shadow. It's like a duochrome between a gold and a pink, and I love that shade. I love those type of shades in general. So that one is probably going to be the most likely that I use. But again, I'm just going to see with the palette what I feel like and take it from there. So that is the introduction for my product level up level 1. I am very excited to do this again. I think this palette is going to be a good start to reach for in the beginning of the year. I think there's, how many shades are there? There's 15 shades, so not too many, but also a bit of a larger palette, I guess. But since it is level 1, I'm not worried about it at all. I think I'm going to easily be able to do that in the first month, and I'm going to be able to kick this one out relatively fast. If I finish this really early on, so like halfway through the month, I might pre-film my first update just to get palette number 2 in quicker, but my updates will go up around the same time every month, just for consistency. And I will also update whether I roll something out or not. So whether I roll out a palette or not, I will still be updating this project monthly. So that is it for today, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And again, make sure to check out everyone else who is doing this project. If you're doing it and you're not in my playlist, please let me know down below in the comments and I'll make sure to add you. I try to look for videos like every single day, but if I can't find them, like if they're not under Product Level Up, you know, I might not see them, and if so, let me know and I can add you to the playlist. But again, that is it for today. I hope you're having a lovely day wherever you are, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.